That little red light flashing?
Nope.
Yeah, it is.
Where? Oh, there. Yep.
Well, we went up the canyon, up American Fork Canyon yesterday, and went on a nice trail ride with this bike and the new KTM300 that I bought, new to me, 1989. And I was all ready to get some real nice video, and I didn't have my GoPro mount with me. Had the GoPro, extra batteries, all that stuff. Didn't have the mount, so I wasn't able to get any of that. And my buddy Alan went up there with me. A beautiful day. I ran into a tree. He did a front flip over the handlebars, and we would have had some pretty cool footage if I hadn't screwed up. And we did about a 15-mile loop on that single track up there, and it was pretty wild. I think it's this way. So, it's Monday. Alan's got some work he's got to do on his truck. And so we wanted to get a little more riding in today. So we thought we'd come up here to 5 Mile and just do a little riding up here. He's got to be back this afternoon and get some work done on his big truck so he can work tomorrow. And so not a big day today. tell you what, I'm loving this KTM 300XC. This thing is a trail weapon, man. Maybe not so much with me on it, but in the hands of a really good trail rider, I'm sure this bike would just be killer. It's killer for me. It inspires confidence. The bike just works so well, you know, that it just inspires confidence.
Trying to remember where you're at?
Yeah, these roads go everywhere out here. I think we go up that way. Trying to find my way back to these old mines up here that any of you guys that have ridden out here at 5 Mile know what I'm talking about. And Alan's never seen them, so I know you ride up like a little wash here, but I'm not really finding it yet. But I think this is it. I believe we've hit pay dirt. Yeah. It's a road, but it's in a wash. So this is the place. Pretty sure this is the place. Guess we'll find out here in a few minutes. This is deep gravel in this thing, man. It wants you to wash out all the time. About got me there. I don't really remember it going this far, but I don't know. We'll see here in a minute, I guess. It should intersect with another road, a regular road. Like I said, this is just a wash that we're riding up. There it is. This is the place. And now the mine, the first one we run into is going to be right up here. Right here where this dark stuff is.
Oh yeah.
I knew there was a wash. It wasn't a road, it was a wash that we took up, and then it meets this road. You got to get off of that thing and then put the kickstand down.
Make it easier.
Yeah. And then you got to really pull it over and make sure that the shocks are extended.
I don't like that hole.
My butt hurts, man.
I don't know what was that. Fucking ass hurt.
Is that light blinking? Well, we just left the mine. I just shut my GoPro off because we hung out there for a little bit and had a drink and kind of chit-chatted a little, and that's not very interesting. I think this one here,
I had to turn it off so I could hear your bike.
I think this one here might be the one with the Jeep.
In it.
This is what we were looking at back there when we stopped. Nope, this isn't the Jeep one. No, this ain't the Jeep one. It's just another one just like that other one.
Another hole.
A big hole, very deep hole.
Looks like.
We'll go on down the way here. This is a nice little loop for today.
Yeah.
Not terribly long.
Okay, don't worry about wearing me out. I'm good.
I need to air these tires up a little more for being out on this kind of stuff. They're a little too soft. So we're running a there's another one. Don't think that's the one with the Jeep in it either. We're running the tubeless systems in this 300, and man, it was a weapon up there on the trails in American Fork Canyon. Those single tracks up there, it was awesome. But down here where you got more hard pack, it's not, they're a little too soft, you know, out here at 5 Mile. Little bit of gnar, not too bad. After the stuff we were riding in yesterday, this is kind of a cakewalk. Every time I throw a leg over this 300, more and more I'm thinking, dang, I scored. (2014) KTM300XC. It's had pretty much every mod you would do to your bike to make it more trail worthy, plus just bling added to it just because. So the forks and the rear shock have been done by Race Tech, revalved and everything. This bike feels so good. It's got a steering stabilizer on it, Recluse clutch, Electron carburetor, and I put Electron on my YZ450 I had, and I'm telling you, I loved that Electron. And this bike had one on it when I bought it. So let's see, on top of that we've got tubeless system, front and rear. That new tech, I think it's called. I'm in the process of putting it on the KDX. The front tire on that bike when I bought it was 33 years old. It's the original tire from when the guy bought that bike brand new in '89. It was a one owner. Beautiful. Well kept, always indoors. Still runs like a champ today. My buddy Alan rode it all day yesterday, doing that big loop up there at we did probably a 15-mile loop. I don't know, it seems like longer, but you know, you're averaging 10 miles an hour on some pretty gnarly single track. I guess it seems a lot longer there, but my best guess is somewhere between 10 and 15 miles we did, and that little bike performed flawlessly. It's like as if it was brand new. I mean, what a good bike. I got really lucky finding that thing too. One owner. The old boy bought it brand new in '89. Rode it till he couldn't ride anymore, and by then he had grandkids that were getting old enough to ride. They rode it a little bit. The only thing wrong with that bike is one of his grandkids crashed it into a tree and broke the headlight. And you know, you can't get those headlights anymore. you can't get that rear fender anymore. Luckily, it's still in pristine shape. The taillight's still good. Very nice. Clean one owner, literally. Clean one owner. And I got it for 2,200 bucks. So I'm not even griping about that in the least. And I'm gonna find a headlight shroud and get a headlight back on it. Just not that I ride at night or anything, I just want it to look more original. And that yellow number plate he put on there just doesn't look right. But even if I have to put a newer model one on there, build a bracket or something, I'll figure that out. But I want a headlight on it just because I'm not going to be out riding at night. It just doesn't look right, you know. And I saw where a couple of guys had rigged up a newer model, even off a KLX or something, you know, and put on it. So that's what I'm going to do, and figure something out. Get rid of that number plate. Well, we're back clear down here by the road. So we'll ride the trail up the side of the highway, I guess, up here. I'm sure there is one. Not going to be a huge video, but in fact, I should stop up here and check, make sure my battery's still working, because when I'm recording in 4K, the damn battery doesn't last very long. That light still flashing?
Yeah. You're good.
I gotta see how much time it has. Go back to the truck, change batteries, have a break. Go ahead of me so when you fall down I get it on video. Just stay along the road. Just stay along the highway. So we got my buddy Alan today. He's riding my brand new YZ450FX. He says he's kind of liking it. I might sell it to him. I mean, I don't mind the power. I'm good with power. You can't have too much power, but what I don't like is that engine braking, man. I just can't get used to that 4-stroke engine braking. I like to do, I've just ridden 2-strokes all my life, and I'm so at home with the 2-stroke and the basically non-existent engine braking. And I swear, when I let off of the throttle on that thing, it feels like I stomp on the back brake. It just, I can't deal with it. I don't like it, you know? Power-wise, I mean, yeah, it's an animal. It's a monster. I can deal with the power. I like the power, you know? I mean, you don't have to pin it all the time, but you're in charge of the throttle, you know? But when you do want to turn on that power, it's nice to have it. That doesn't bother me at all. I just hate the engine braking. I'd rather not. I've just ridden these 2-strokes for my whole life. And I like the fact that when you let off, I mean, there's just the tiniest bit of engine braking, but it's nothing like that. I mean, that's ridiculous on that bike. It's like you hit the brakes. I'm not kidding. And I don't like it. So if I can get it sold, I'm going to sell it. I mean, I'm just a 2-stroke man. I thought I'd give a 4-stroke a shot. I like that big bore thumper power, you know. I love that part of it, but I just can't get used to the that hard-ass engine braking. And I know I could pull the clutch in and let it freewheel and not have to deal with it. But then I got to deal with pulling the clutch in every time I go to slow down a little bit. My son's always had 2-strokes, and he loves that KX450. He's telling me I kind of like the engine braking, Dad. When I come into a turn or something and I need to slow down, I don't need to hit the brakes. I can just cut the throttle and it slows down. He says, I kind of like it. And I'm like, well, you know, everybody's different. Whatever works for you. I'm just not a fan. I like my 2-strokes, man. And this 300 has got more than enough power. And when I let off, I don't have to deal with engine braking, you know? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, not that ridiculous kind of engine braking. But she rips. This bike does rip. It rips. The thing I like about this bike too is it doesn't have that hard hit like a race bike. Being a trail configuration, you know, it's more of a linear power, so you don't get that dump on your ass surprise, you know, when you crack the throttle. Which I've ridden those kind of bikes all my life too, and they're fine, it's fine, but they're not very good for the trail. And I mean, this KTM300, it has it all. I mean, it's like, and I know some people to disagree, but for me, this is my unicorn right here. This is my unicorn, man. This is the bike I've been looking for my entire life. because this is a bike that you can rip and shred on if you want to. Again, it's not a motocross bike, so it doesn't have the hard-hitting shredding power like your motocross bikes are going to have. But it's no slouch either, you know, on the other hand. And the luggability of this thing and that recluse clutch, oh my god. This bike is a trail freaking master. I can't say enough good about this bike. Like I said, I think in a different video that I haven't posted yet, this bike, only bad thing I can say about this bike, the only thing I've got negative to say, is that I wish I would have found it, you know, years ago. So alright, we're going to take a little break.
That actually was a little fun.
That's a fun little trail, ain't it? Coming back along the road. All the little whoop-de-doos and shit.
6 inches of air.
Yeah, you get that little hop and you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm the man.
I could do this.
Gets pretty dusty back there though.
I know.
If you're behind somebody, I mean, that's a bad thing about this place. It gets a little dusty, man.